Vasishta continued, "In this connection, O Ram, pray listen to an interesting legend. In the Himalaya mountain range there is a mountain known as Kailasa. At the foot of that mountain there lived a hill tribe known as Hemajata, which means yellow-haired. You wonder where they might have come from. Suraghu was their king. He was strong, powerful and wise. He was endowed with self-knowledge, and he was highly accomplished in poesy and literary art. Fatigue was unknown to him. He was just in his rule, blessing and punishing those who deserved to be thus blessed and punished. In all this activity, however, his spiritual vision became obscured. Suraghu began to reflect within himself. People undergo a lot of suffering on my account. Their suffering is truly my suffering. I should bestow riches upon them. They will rejoice, even as I would rejoice if I became wealthy. Their joy is my joy. Alas, by alternately blessing and punishing the people, I am myself alternately enjoying and suffering." Thinking thus, the king was greatly distressed. One day the sage Mandavya came to visit the king. Suraghu welcomed the sage, bowed to him, worshipped him, and asked, "Lord, I am tormented by the anxieties that the blessing and the punishment that I inflict upon my subjects will return to me. Please help me gain equal vision and save me from prejudice and partiality." Mandavya said, "All mental weaknesses come to an end by self-effort based on the wisdom which arises in one who is firmly rooted in self-knowledge. The distress of the mind is got rid of by inquiry into the nature of the self. One should inquire in one's own mind, what are these moods and modes and feelings that arise within me?" This follows on from the previous chapter when we were talking about the phantom nature of the word I. All there are sensations going on. And if we say I am unhappy or I am in love, what you can then do is do some forensic analysis of these sensations. Just look at them. Look at them as physical sensations, if you like. Look at what is giving rise to saying such things as I am in love, or I am unhappy, or nobody loves me, I am alone, I'm lonely. By such inquiry your mind expands. When you realize your true nature by such inquiry, you are not disturbed by exaltation and depression. The mind abandons the past and the future, and thus its fragmented functioning. Then you experience supreme peace. When you are in that state of tranquility, you take pity on all those who revel in great wealth and secular power. When you have gained self-knowledge, and when your consciousness has infinitely expanded, your mind no longer falls into the cesspool of this world, even as an elephant does not enter a puddle. Your consciousness doesn't really expand. You just stop identifying with limited notions of self and the world and other. You realize the infinite nature of your own consciousness. It is only the little mind that seeks little pleasure and power. The mind abandons everything when the vision of the Supreme is gained. Hence one should resolutely renounce everything till the Supreme vision is gained. Not till one renounces everything is self-knowledge gained. When all points of view are abandoned, what remains is the self. There's a naive understanding, probably in most cultures, that spirituality is about giving up your possessions, about retiring to solitude or a state of simple living. What you're really giving up is your complicated ideas, your complicated notions. And one of these complicated notions is the notion of I, of me. You give up these things, you give up all these notions of an external world. That's what you renounce. Any other kind of renunciation makes no sense whatsoever. This is true even of life in this world. One does not get what one desires unless the obstacle to it is removed. It is even more so in self-knowledge. So the obstacle to self-knowledge are the notions that we hang on to, the beliefs that we hang on to.